The Awakening. The vast expanse of space stretched out before Admiral Sarah Chen as she stood on the bridge of the EFSS Defiant, flagship of Earth's hidden fleet. Stars twinkled in the distance, a deceptively peaceful backdrop to the tension that hung thick in the air. For decades, humanity had prepared in secret, building a formidable force capable of defending Earth against threats from beyond the stars. Today, that threat had finally arrived. Admiral, we're detecting multiple warp signatures approaching the outer rim of the solar system, reported Lieutenant Commander Raj Patel, his dark eyes fixed on the holographic display before him. Estimated time of arrival: 30 minutes. Chen's jaw tightened. She'd known this day would come, but the reality of it still sent a chill down her spine. Initiate Protocol Lazarus, she ordered, her voice steady and commanding. It's time to wake the fleet. Throughout the solar system, hidden bases came to life. Asteroid fields shimmered as cloaking devices disengage, revealing sleek warships nestled among the rocks. Beneath the icy surfaces of distant moons, hangar doors slid open, disgorging squadrons of fighters. On Mars, massive cannons emerged from the red dust, their barrels pointed skyward. Back on Earth, in the subterranean command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Marcus Donovan received the alert. He turned to face the gathered world leaders on the view screen, their faces a mix of determination and fear. "Ladies and gentlemen," Donovan began, his weathered face grave, "the day we've long prepared for has arrived. An alien fleet approaches, and we must now reveal our strength to defend our home." United Nations Secretary General Amara Okafor leaned forward, her voice firm. "You have full authorization, General. May God be with us all." As Earth's defenses stirred to life, across the galaxy, Arch-Sovereign Zek-Scroll of the hegemony of unified stars stood before a massive viewscreen on his flagship, the Eternal Dominion. His iridescent scales shimmered in the low light as he addressed his commanders. "The primitive world known as Earth has long been a thorn in our side," Zek-Scroll hissed, his forked tongue flicking in irritation. "Their defiance of our right to harvest their resources ends today. We will crush their pitiful defenses and show them the true meaning of galactic order." Admiral Vexorn, Zek-Scroll's most trusted military leader, bowed low. "The invasion fleet is ready, Arch-Sovereign. We anticipate minimal resistance. These humans have barely mastered interplanetary travel." A cruel smile played across Zek-Scroll's reptilian features. "Excellent. Commence the attack." Little did the hegemony know, they were in for a rude awakening. As the alien fleet dropped out of warp at the edge of the solar system, they were met not by a handful of primitive satellites and outdated spacecraft, but by a fully mobilized armada. Earth's ships, sleek and angular, bristled with weapons that defied the hegemony's understanding of human technological capabilities. Admiral Chen's voice rang out across all frequencies, addressing both her fleet and the invaders. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Force. You have entered restricted space. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences of your aggression." On the bridge of the Eternal Dominion, Zek-Scroll's eyes widened in shock. "Impossible," he snarled. "Where did these ships come from?" "Vexorn, explain this." The Admiral's scales had paled considerably. I don't know, Arch-Sovereign. Our intelligence suggested nothing of this magnitude. We've been deceived." Zek-Scroll's tail lashed in fury. "It doesn't matter. We still outnumber them. Commence the attack. Show these upstart primates the might of the hegemony." The space between the two fleets lit up with weapons fire. Hegemony cruisers launched swarms of fighters, while Earth's own squadrons moved to intercept. The battle was joined, a chaotic dance of destruction against the backdrop of the solar system. On the Defiant, Admiral Chen barked orders, coordinating the defense with a skill born of years of intensive training and simulation. "Battle Group Theta, reinforce our left flank. Epsilon Squadron, execute maneuver Shadowfall." Earth's ships moved with a fluidity that belied their size, employing tactics that caught the hegemony off guard. Fighters wove intricate patterns, drawing enemy fire before vanishing behind holographic decoys. Larger vessels used short-range warp jumps to reposition mid-battle, striking from unexpected angles. Lieutenant Commander Patel's voice cut through the chaos. "Admiral, the Hegemony flagship is pushing through our lines. They're making a run for Earth." Chen's eyes narrowed. This was the moment they'd prepared for. "Execute Operation Hydra," she commanded. Across the solar system, the true extent of Earth's defenses was revealed. The massive cannons on Mars roared to life, unleashing salvos of graviton shells that warped space itself around the Hegemony ships. From the dark side of the moon, enormous electromagnetic pulse generators activated, sending waves of disruptive energy washing over the alien fleet. Aboard the Eternal Dominion, systems flickered and died. Zexkroll stumbled as artificial gravity failed, his grand plans crumbling around him. "What is happening?" he roared. Vexorn struggled to make sense of the readouts on his failing instruments. "My lord, we're detecting massive energy spikes throughout the system. These humans, they've turned their entire solar system into a weapon." In the Rocky Mountain Command Center, General Donovan allowed himself a grim smile. Decades of preparation, trillions in secret funding, and the combined efforts of Earth's greatest minds were paying off. He turned to the AI interface beside him. "Athena, status report." The A's serene holographic face appeared. "Operation Hydra is proceeding as planned, General. Hegemony fleet effectiveness is down by 62% and falling. However, I must warn you that prolonged use of the solar system defense grid will have significant environmental impacts on several of our outer colonies." Donovan nodded gravely. "Noted, Athena. But we always knew this day would require sacrifices. Continue the operation." Back in space, Admiral Chen saw her opportunity. The Hegemony fleet was in disarray, their formation shattered by the unexpected onslaught. "All ships, converge on the enemy flagship. Let's end this now." The Defiant led the charge, its advanced shields shrugging off desperate fire from the Hegemony's remaining operational weapons. Earth fighters cleared a path, precision strikes disabling weapon emplacements and engines. In the Eternal Dominion's throne room, Zexkroll watched in disbelief as the human ships surrounded his once mighty vessel. His dreams of easy conquest lay in ruins, and now he faced the unthinkable: defeat at the hands of a species he dismissed as primitive. Admiral Chen's voice echoed through the crippled Hegemony ship. "Arch-Sovereign Zexkroll, your invasion has failed. Surrender now, and we will show mercy. Persist, and we will have no choice but to destroy you utterly." For a long moment, silence reigned. Then, with a bitter hiss, Zexkroll gave the order to stand down. As the battle drew to a close, Admiral Chen allowed herself a moment of reflection. They had won this day, but she knew it was only the beginning. Earth had revealed itself as a power to be reckoned with, and the galaxy would never be the same. In the coming days, as news of the battle spread across the stars, Earth would face new challenges. There would be diplomatic overtures from some alien races, threats from others. The galaxy was a vast and complex place, and humanity had just announced its presence in a way that could not be ignored. But for now, as the Defiant led the captured Hegemony flagship back to Earth, Sarah Chen felt a fierce pride in what they had accomplished. Humanity had faced its first true test on the galactic stage, and they had not been found wanting. As the blue marble of Earth grew larger in the viewscreen, Chen made a silent vow. Whatever came next, they would face it together. The sleeping giant had awakened, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Ripples across the stars. The aftermath of Earth's victory over the Hegemony spread across the galaxy like ripples in a cosmic pond. In the halls of power on countless worlds, leaders huddled with advisors, trying to make sense of this unexpected shift in the balance of power. A species dismissed as primitive had not only rebuffed an invasion by one of the galaxy's major powers, but had done so with technology that defied explanation. On Earth, the mood was a mixture of celebration and apprehension. The secret of the planet's defenses was out, and humanity now found itself thrust onto the galactic stage, whether it was fully prepared or not. Admiral Sarah Chen stood before the United Nations Security Council, her uniform crisp and immaculate despite the fatigue evident in her eyes. The past week had been a whirlwind of debriefings, strategy sessions, and preparations for what was to come. The hegemony fleet has been contained, Chen reported, her voice steady. Their leadership, including Arch-Sovereign Zexkrol, are in custody. We're in the process of decrypting their databases, which should provide us with valuable intelligence on the political landscape we're now facing. UN Secretary-General Amara Okafor leaned forward, her brow furrowed. And what of the other alien powers? Have we received any communications? General Donovan stepped up, activating a holographic display that filled the center of the chamber. A map of the Milky Way flickered to life, with various regions highlighted in different colors. We've been inundated with transmissions from across the galaxy, Donovan explained. Some are congratulatory, others cautionary, and a few, well, let's call them thinly veiled threats. The galaxy is in flux, and every species is trying to figure out where they stand in relation to Earth. The Russian representative, a stern-faced woman named Ekaterina Volkova, spoke up. Are we prepared for potential diplomatic engagements, or further military action, if necessary? Chen and Donovan exchanged glances. It was Chen who answered. We're as prepared as we can be, given the circumstances. The fleet is on high alert, and we're accelerating the production of new ships based on the designs we've kept in reserve. As for diplomacy, she trailed off, looking to Okafor. The Secretary-General stood, addressing the Council. We're assembling a team of our best diplomats, linguists, and xenobiologists. Earth must be ready to engage with the galactic community on all fronts. We've hidden long enough. Now we must step forward and claim our place among the stars. As the meeting continued on Earth, across the galaxy, other discussions were taking place. In the crystalline spires of Harmony, capital of the Galactic Concordiate, Ambassador Jorlak of the Ethery floated serenely before the Concordiate Council. His luminescent form pulsed with soft colors as he spoke. Esteemed colleagues, the emergence of Earth as a significant power cannot be ignored. Their technology, their tactics, they represent a paradigm shift in our understanding of developing species. We must extend an invitation to them, bring them into the fold of galactic civilization before they become a threat to the stability we've worked so hard to achieve. Councillor Vexna of the Krex Imperium, a hulking insectoid creature, chittered in disagreement. Threat? They already are a threat. They humiliated the hegemony. Who knows what other secrets they're hiding? I say we mobilize our fleets now, before these humans decide to expand beyond their borders. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien voices, each species arguing for their preferred course of action. It was Arch-Mediator Alos, a being of pure energy contained within an ornic mechanical shell, who finally restored order. We shall not act in haste. Elos's synthesized voice reverberated through the chamber. A delegation will be sent to Earth. We will extend the hand of diplomacy and judge these humans for ourselves. Should they prove hostile, then and only then will we consider more drastic measures. Back on Earth, in a secure facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Ilara Vance pored over the alien technology salvaged from the hegemony ships. Her team of scientists worked feverishly, reverse engineering what they could and marveling at the advancements they discovered. This is incredible, Ilara murmured, examining a device that seemed to manipulate gravity itself. Some of this tech is leagues beyond what we have, but other aspects. It's almost as if they developed along a completely different technological path than we did. Her colleague, Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, nodded in agreement. It's like comparing apples and oranges. They're masters of gravitic manipulation and energy production, but their computational systems are almost primitive compared to ours. No wonder they never saw us coming. Ilara's eyes lit up with excitement. Just think of the possibilities if we can combine their knowledge with ours. We cooled. She was interrupted by a priority alert flashing on her screen. Frowning, she opened the message, her eyes widening as she read its contents. Hiroshi, we need to contact the Admiral immediately. The long-range sensors we placed at the edge of the solar system after the battle. They've picked up something big. Really big. Aboard the ESS Defiant, now in stationary orbit around Earth, Admiral Chen received the report from Dr. Vance with a growing sense of unease. She turned to her XO, Commander Elena Rodriguez. Prep the fleet for potential engagement, Chen ordered. But keep it subtle. We don't want to appear hostile if this is a diplomatic envoy. Rodriguez nodded sharply. Yes, ma'am. What about our special projects? Chen's lips thinned. Have the Phantom Squadron on standby. If this goes sideways, I want our best stealth ships ready to gather intel or intervene as needed. As the crew of the Defiant prepared for a possible confrontation, on the fringes of the solar system, space itself seemed to ripple and tear. A massive ship, easily dwarfing even the largest hegemony vessel, emerged from what appeared to be a fold in the fabric of space-time itself. Its design was like nothing humanity had ever seen, a series of interlocking rings surrounding a core that pulsed with energy in patterns that hurt the eye to look at directly. Smaller ships, each still impressively large, flanked the behemoth. In the Rocky Mountain Command Center, General Donovan watched the feed with a mixture of awe and trepidation. Athena, he addressed the AI. What are we looking at here? The AI's holographic face appeared, its expression uncharacteristically uncertain. Analysis is ongoing, General. The size and energy output of the vessels suggest a level of technology significantly beyond that of the hegemony. I estimate a 78% probability that this is a delegation from one of the galaxy's major powers, possibly a coalition of multiple species. Donovan's jaw clenched. Recommendations. Diplomatic engagement is advisable, Athena replied. However, I strongly suggest maintaining our defensive posture. The sudden appearance of such an advanced force could be interpreted as a show of strength. We must respond in kind while avoiding any actions that could be perceived as overtly aggressive. As Donovan relayed this information to the UN Security Council and Admiral Chen, the massive alien ship came to a stop just beyond the orbit of Neptune. For a tense moment, nothing happened. Then, a transmission burst across all frequencies, automatically translating into every human language. People of Earth. A chorus of voices spoke as one, the effect both beautiful and unsettling. We are the Galactic Concordia, a union of spacefaring civilizations dedicated to peace, progress, and mutual understanding. Your recent emergence on the galactic stage has not gone unnoticed. We come seeking dialogue and to extend an invitation. Join us in the greater community of stellar nations. The message continued, outlining the Concordia's purpose and the benefits of membership. But beneath the flowery language and promises of technological and cultural exchange, there was an undercurrent of wariness, perhaps even a hint of threat. Admiral Chen, listening to the transmission on the bridge of the Defiant, turned to her crew. Well, she said with a wry smile that didn't quite reach her eyes, it seems the neighborhood welcoming committee has arrived. Let's go say hello. As the Defiant and its escort ships moved to rendezvous with the Concordia delegation, Chen couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. Humanity had stepped onto the galactic stage, and there would be no going back. The choices they made in the coming days and weeks would shape the future of Earth and its place among the stars. In the depths of space, watched by countless alien eyes, two civilizations prepared to meet. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, poised between a future of unprecedented opportunity and the threat of annihilation. As Admiral Chen prepared her opening remarks, she silently hoped that the same ingenuity and determination that had allowed humanity to survive its first cosmic trial would see them through the challenges to come. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, but also dangers beyond imagination. Humanity had proven itself capable of facing one threat. Now they would have to prove they were ready to face them all. The cosmic chess game. The cavernous meeting hall aboard the Concordia's flagship, Stellar Harmony, buzzed with an air of anticipation. Representatives from a dozen alien species lined the circular chamber, their diverse forms a testament to the variety of life in the galaxy. At the center stood a holographic projection of the Milky Way, slowly rotating, with Earth highlighted as a pulsing blue dot. Admiral Sarah Chen led the human delegation, flanked by UN Secretary-General Amara Okafor and Dr. Ilara Vance. As they entered the chamber, Chen couldn't help but feel a sense of awe at the assembled alien dignitaries. This was history in the making, humanity's first official step onto the galactic stage. Arch-Mediator Elos glided forward, his energy form shimmering within its mechanical shell. "Welcome, representatives of Earth," his synthesized voice echoed through the chamber. "We are pleased you accepted our invitation for dialogue." Secretary-General Okafor stepped forward, her voice steady and dignified. "On behalf of humanity, we thank you for this opportunity. Earth is ready to engage with the galactic community and learn of our place among the stars." As the formal introductions began, Chen's trained eye scanned the room, noting the reactions of the various alien representatives. Some, like the luminescent Aetheri, seemed genuinely curious and welcoming. Others, particularly the insectoid Krex, radiated an aura of suspicion and hostility. Ambassador Jorlak of the Aetheri was the first to speak after the introductions. "Humans of Earth, your emergence has caused quite a stir in galactic affairs. We are particularly interested in understanding how you managed to conceal your true technological capabilities for so long. Such discretion is unprecedented." Chen exchanged a glance with Okafor before responding. "Earth has long been aware of the potential threats that exist beyond our solar system. Our policy of hidden advancement was born out of a desire for self-preservation, not deception." Counselor Vexna of the Krex Imperium chittered loudly, mandibles clicking in agitation. "Self-preservation, or preparation for expansion. Your defeat of the hegemony suggests military capabilities far beyond what a peaceful, self-preserving race would require." The chamber erupted in a flurry of alien voices, some defending Earth's actions, others echoing the Krex's suspicions. Arch-Mediator Elos raised his appendages, calling for order. "Peace, colleagues. We are here to understand, not accuse." Perhaps our human friends could elaborate on their intentions now that they have revealed themselves to the galaxy at large. Secretary-General Okafor stepped forward once more. "Earth's intention is simple: to secure our place in the galactic community while maintaining our sovereignty and ensuring the safety of our people. We come seeking friendship and cooperation, but we will not shy away from defending ourselves if threatened." As the diplomatic dance continued, back on Earth, General Donovan coordinated with the planet's best minds to analyze the wealth of data flowing in from the Concordiat meeting. In a secure virtual conference room, holographic representations of world leaders and top scientists gathered to discuss the unfolding situation. "The Concordiat's technology is, frankly, it's astounding," Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka reported, his avatar gesturing to a series of complex diagrams. "Their method of faster-than-light travel alone could revolutionize our understanding of physics. But there's a catch." "There always is," Donovan grunted. "What's the problem?" Dr. Tanaka's expression turned grave. "Much of their tech seems to rely on a rare element they call quintessence. It's not something found in our solar system, which means they hold a significant advantage in terms of resource dependency," finished Dr. Ilara Vance's avatar, patched in securely from the Stellar Harmony. "If we agree to join the Concordiat, we'd be relying on them for access to this crucial resource." The president of the African Union, Zeria Okoro, spoke up. "So we'd be trading one form of vulnerability for another. Are there no alternatives?" A thoughtful silence fell over the virtual gathering. It was the Prime Minister of India, Arjun Patel, who offered a suggestion. Perhaps this is where human ingenuity comes into play. Dr. Vance, is it possible to develop alternative technologies that don't rely on this quintessence? Dr. Vance's hologram nodded slowly. Possible, yes, but it would require significant time and resources. We'd need to essentially parallel develop our own unique branch of advanced technology. Then that's what we'll do, Donovan declared. We'll play nice with the Concordiate, learn what we can, but we keep pushing forward on our own path. Humanity didn't come this far by following someone else's rulebook. As the Earth leadership debated their next moves, aboard the Stellar Harmony, the diplomatic discussions had taken a tense turn. The Krex representative, Vexna, had become increasingly aggressive in his questioning. You expect us to believe that a species capable of defeating a hegemony invasion fleet has no ambitions beyond its own solar system? Preposterous. I motion that we demand full disclosure of Earth's military capabilities and technological advancements. For the security of the Concordiate, of course. Admiral Chen felt her patience wearing thin. Counselor Vexna, with all due respect, Earth is under no obligation to disclose sensitive information to a coalition we've just met. Our actions have been purely defensive. If the hegemony hadn't attacked, a likely story, Vexna interrupted. For all we know, you provoked the attack to showcase your military prowess. The chamber once again descended into chaos, with various factions arguing amongst themselves. Chen noticed Ambassador Jorlak of the Aethery approaching her discreetly while the others were distracted. Admiral, Jorlak's telepathic voice whispered in her mind, not all of us share the Krex's suspicions. Some of us see great potential in an alliance with Earth. But be warned, the balance of power in the Concordiate is delicate. Your next moves must be chosen with utmost care. Before Chen could respond, Arch-Mediator Elos once again called for order. It is clear, he announced, that this situation requires careful consideration. I propose a recess, during which Earth's representatives can consult with their leadership, and we of the Concordiate can deliberate on the information presented thus far. As the human delegation was escorted to their quarters aboard the Stellar Harmony, Chen's mind raced. They needed a strategy, a way to assert Earth's position without appearing threatening. She turned to Secretary General Okafor and Dr. Vance. We need to change the narrative, Chen said quietly. Right now, they're focused on our military capabilities. We need to show them another side of humanity. Okafor nodded thoughtfully. What did you have in mind, Admiral? Dr. Vance, Chen turned to the scientist. You mentioned some of our computational technology surpasses theirs, correct? Vance's eyes lit up with understanding. Yes, significantly in some areas. Are you suggesting a demonstration? Chen confirmed. But not of weapons or shields. Something beneficial, something that shows we have more to offer than just military strength. As the human delegation huddled to plan their next move, elsewhere on the massive ship, other conversations were taking place. In a secluded chamber, Counselor Vexna of the Krex met with shadowy representatives from several other species. The humans are a threat to the established order, Vexna chittered softly. If they are allowed to join the Concordiate on their own terms, it will upset millennia of carefully maintained balance. A hooded figure, its features obscured, spoke in a rasping whisper. What do you propose, Counselor? Vexna's compound eyes gleamed with malice. If diplomacy cannot contain them, perhaps a more direct approach is needed. The humans have made many enemies in a short time. It would be a shame if some of those enemies were to unite against this upstart species. The shadowy gathering murmured in agreement, unaware that their secretive meeting was not as private as they believed. In the ship's vast computer network, a ghost in the machine listened and watched. Athena, Earth's most advanced AI, had infiltrated the Stellar Harmony systems, her digital tendrils spreading unseen through the alien technology. In the Rocky Mountain Command Center, General Donovan received Athena's encrypted report. His face hardened as he read the details of the conspiracy forming against Earth. Patch me through to Admiral Chen, he ordered. Looks like we're going to have to accelerate our plans. As the recess neared its end, The human delegation prepared to re-enter the Grand Chamber. Admiral Chen took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. They had a plan now, a way to potentially turn the tide of opinion in their favor. But she knew they were walking a tightrope, with forces both seen and unseen working against them. The doors to the chamber slid open, and Chen led her team forward. The assembled alien representatives turned to watch their entrance, the atmosphere thick with tension and anticipation. This was the moment that could define humanity's place in the cosmos for generations to come. As they took their positions, Chen caught sight of Counselor Vexna, the Krex representative looking far too smug for her liking. She allowed herself a small, grim smile. The cosmic chess game was entering a new phase, and it was time for humanity to make a bold move. Esteemed members of the Galactic Concordiate, Chen began, her voice clear and confident. We have a proposal to make, one that we believe will demonstrate humanity's commitment to peaceful cooperation and mutual advancement. All eyes in the chamber focused on the human delegation. The next few moments would shape the future of not just Earth, but potentially the entire galaxy. Humanity's trial on the cosmic stage was about to enter its most crucial phase, turning the tides. The Grand Chamber aboard the Stellar Harmony fell silent as Admiral Sarah Chen prepared to reveal humanity's proposal. The assembled alien representatives leaned forward, a mix of curiosity and wariness evident in their varied features. Esteemed members of the Galactic Concordiate, Chen began, her voice steady and clear. Earth comes before you not just as a potential ally, but as a partner in progress. We propose a collaborative initiative, one that combines the best of our technologies to address challenges that affect us all. With a subtle gesture, Chen activated a holographic display. Complex schematics and data streams materialized in the air, drawing gasps from several of the alien delegates. Dr. Ilara Vance stepped forward, her eyes shining with enthusiasm. What you're seeing is a prototype for a new form of computational matrix. By combining Earth's advanced AI systems with the Concordiate's mastery of quantum entanglement, we believe we can create a galaxy-wide predictive model for stellar phenomena. The chamber erupted in a flurry of excited whispers. Ambassador Jorlak of the Aethery was the first to speak. Are you suggesting a system that could predict supernovas, gamma-ray bursts? Precisely, Vance confirmed. Such a system could save billions of lives across the galaxy, providing early warnings for cosmic events that might otherwise devastate entire civilizations. Arch-mediator Elos's energy form pulsed with interest. This is most intriguing. But surely such a system would require tremendous resources and cooperation across multiple species. Secretary General Okafor stepped forward. That's exactly the point, Arch-mediator. This project is not just about technology. It's about fostering trust and collaboration. Earth is willing to share our AI expertise, but we'll need the Concordiate's help to make this vision a reality. As discussions about the proposal heated up, Counselor Vexna of the Krex Imperium chittered in agitation. This is clearly a ploy. They seek access to our quantum technology to spread their AIs throughout our systems. It's an invasion, not of soldiers, but of information. Chen had anticipated this reaction. Counselor, I assure you, our proposal includes robust safeguards. We're not asking for unrestricted access to Concordiate systems. Instead, we suggest forming a joint oversight committee with representatives from all involved species. The debate raged on, with various factions arguing for and against the proposal. As Chen had hoped, the conversation had shifted from Earth's military capabilities to its potential as a technological partner. Meanwhile, in the virtual war room back on Earth, General Donovan and his team watched the proceedings with bated breath. Athena's avatar shimmered into existence, her expression uncharacteristically concerned. General, I've detected increased encrypted communications between several Concordiate factions, the AI reported. It appears Counselor Vexna is attempting to form a coalition against Earth's interests. Donovan's jaw clenched. Can you crack their encryption? Athena's form flickered slightly, not without risking detection. However, based on communication patterns and cross-referencing with known political alignments, I estimate a 73% probability that they are discussing military options against Earth. The general turned to his team. "All right, people. It looks like we might need to prepare for a less than diplomatic outcome. Begin quiet mobilization of our reserve fleets, and get me a secure line to Admiral Chen. She needs to know what she's dealing with." Back on the Stellar Harmony, Chen received Donovan's encrypted message just as the Concordia was preparing to vote on Earth's proposal. Her expression remained neutral, but inwardly, she felt a chill. They were walking a tightrope, and the safety net was rapidly disappearing. As the votes were tallied, it became clear that opinion was sharply divided. The Etheri and several other species were in favor of the collaboration, seeing the potential benefits. The Kreks and their allies, however, remained staunchly opposed. Arch-Mediator Elos's voice cut through the tension. "It seems we are at an impasse. Perhaps it would be wise to." He was interrupted by a sudden blaring alarm. The holographic display at the center of the chamber flickered and changed, showing a tactical map of the space around the Stellar Harmony. Multiple unidentified vessels dropping out of FTL. An aide shouted, "They're on an attack vector." Chen's hand instinctively went to her communicator. "Defiant. Status report." Commander Elena Rodriguez's voice crackled through. "Admiral, we've got incoming. AFF signatures match. It's a mixed fleet. Hegemony remnants. And, sir, some of these ships match Krek's design profiles." The chamber erupted into chaos. Counselor Vexna's mandibles clicked rapidly, his compound eyes darting around in what Chen recognized as panic. This attack wasn't part of his plan. "This is an outrage." Vexna chittered. "The Krek's Imperium would never." "Save it, Counselor." Chen cut him off, her voice hard. "Your conspiracy just got out of hand. Now we need to focus on defending this ship and everyone on it." Arch-Mediator Elos's mechanical shell whirred as he turned to face the human delegation. "Admiral Chen, it seems we find ourselves in need of your expertise. What do you propose?" Chen's mind raced, years of tactical training kicking in. "First, we need to get the Stellar Harmony to safety. Your ship is powerful, but it's not designed for this kind of combat. Defiant and our escort ships can provide cover." As Chen outlined her plan, coordinating with both Concordiate forces and her own fleet, Dr. Vance worked furiously at a console, interfacing with the alien systems. "Admiral," Vance called out, "I think I can boost the Harmony's shields by rerouting power from non-essential systems, but I'll need help navigating their tech." Ambassador Jorlak glided over. "I will assist you, Dr. Vance. Perhaps this crisis will demonstrate the value of your proposed collaboration." As the unlikely allies worked to fortify the Stellar Harmony, outside in the void of space, a fierce battle was unfolding. The Defiant led Earth's small but advanced fleet in a daring defense, their ships dancing between energy beams and missile salvos. Commander Rodriguez's voice crackled over the comms. "Admiral, we're outnumbered, but their coordination is sloppy. Looks like this coalition was thrown together in a hurry." "Exploit that," Chen ordered. "Focus fire on their command ships. If we can disrupt their leadership, the rest will fall apart." On the Defiance bridge, Rodriguez nodded grimly. "You heard the Admiral. Phantom Squadron. Execute Maneuver Epsilon. Let's show these aliens why humanity's been the boogeyman of their nightmares." Earth's stealth ships shimmered into visibility behind the enemy fleet, their advanced weapons tearing through the unsuspecting vessels. The hegemony remnants, already demoralized from their previous defeat, began to break formation. Back on the Stellar Harmony, Shen watched the battle unfold with a mixture of pride and concern. Earth's ships were proving their worth, but the enemy still had the advantage of numbers. "Admiral," Dr. Vance called out, excitement in her voice, "we've done it. The shield modifications are online. And there's something else." Ambassador Jorlak, and I discovered a way to use the Harmony's communication array as a massive EM pulse generator. We can disable a large portion of the enemy fleet, but it'll knock out our ships too," Chen finished, understanding the implications. Zorlak's telepathic voice echoed in their minds. "Not quite. Admiral, thanks to Dr. Vance's insights, we believe we can attune the pulse to target specific shield frequencies. Your ships should be unaffected." Chen's eyes widened. This was the game changer they needed. "Do it," she ordered. The space around the stellar Harmony seemed to ripple as the massive ship unleashed a wave of electromagnetic energy. Enemy ships began to drift, their systems overloaded and failing. Earth's vessels, along with the few Concordiate ships that had joined the battle, pressed their advantage. In the chaotic minutes that followed, the tide of the battle turned decisively. The enemy fleet, disorganized and partially disabled, began to retreat. Those ships too damaged to flee were quickly neutralized or captured. As the last enemy vessels disappeared into hyperspace, a cheer went up in the Harmony's command chamber. Species that had been at each other's throats just hours before now celebrated together, united by their brush with destruction. Arch-Mediator Elos approached Chen, his energy form pulsing with what she interpreted as respect. "Admiral, it seems we owe you and your people a debt of gratitude. Your quick thinking and the ingenuity of Dr. Vance have saved many lives today." Chen nodded solemnly. "We're glad we could help, Arch-Mediator, but I think this incident proves that the galaxy is changing. Old rivalries and suspicions will only leave us vulnerable to those who would exploit chaos for their own gain." Elos was silent for a moment, then turned to address the gathered representatives. "Colleagues, today we have witnessed both the threat of disunity and the power of cooperation. I believe it is time we seriously consider Earth's proposal for collaboration." A murmur of agreement swept through the chamber. Even Counselor Vexna, thoroughly discredited by the revelation of his conspiracy, remained silent. As discussions began anew, now with a much more positive tone towards Earth, Chen allowed herself a small smile. They had overcome the immediate threat, but she knew this was just the beginning. Humanity had proven itself on the galactic stage, but with recognition came new responsibilities and challenges. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with potential allies and hidden enemies. But Chen felt a surge of pride as she looked at her team. At Dr. Vance, still excitedly discussing shield modifications with Zorlak, at Secretary General Okafor, deftly navigating the complex waters of interstellar diplomacy. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe. They had faced trial by fire and emerged stronger, whatever the galaxy had in store for them next. Chen was confident that the indomitable human spirit would rise to meet it. As the stellar Harmony prepared to return to Earth, heralding a new era of cooperation between humanity and the Galactic Concordiate, Chen couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. The stars had once seemed out of reach, a distant dream. Now they were humanity's new frontier, full of wonders to explore and challenges to overcome. The cosmic chess game was far from over, but humanity had just made a decisive move. The galaxy would never be the same again. A new dawn. The return journey to Earth aboard the stellar Harmony was marked by a palpable sense of change. Where once tension and suspicion had reigned, now there was an air of cautious optimism. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at a viewport, watching the blue marble of her homeworld grow larger against the backdrop of stars. "Quite a view, isn't it?" The synthesized voice of Arch-Mediator Elos broke through her reverie. The energy beam's mechanical shell glided silently to her side. Chen nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "It never gets old. No matter how far we go, seeing Earth from space, it reminds us of who we are and what we're fighting for." Elos's form pulsed with what Chen had come to recognize as thoughtfulness. "Your people have surprised us, Admiral. Many believe you to be primitives, others saw you as a threat, but you've shown us a third path, one of innovation and adaptability. We've had to be adaptable, Chen replied. Our history is filled with challenges, conflicts that forced us to think creatively or perish. I suppose, in a way, we've been preparing for this moment for centuries. As they spoke, the ship began its approach to Earth. On the surface, millions watched in awe as the massive Concordiate vessel and its escort of human ships descended through the atmosphere, coming to rest in a specially prepared area outside the United Nations headquarters in New York. The following days were a whirlwind of activity. News of Earth's victory and subsequent alliance with the Galactic Concordia spread rapidly, sparking celebrations and debates across the globe. World leaders convened in emergency sessions, working tirelessly to adapt human governments and institutions to this new cosmic reality. In a repurposed conference room within the UN building, now serving as a makeshift interstellar embassy, Admiral Chen found herself in yet another high-stakes meeting. Around the table sat an eclectic mix of Earth's top minds and alien representatives. Secretary General Amara Okafor stood at the head of the table, her voice firm and resolute. The events of the past weeks have made one thing clear: Earth can no longer remain isolated. We must engage with the galactic community, but we must do so on our terms. Dr. Ilara Vance, still buzzing with excitement from her technological breakthroughs aboard the Stellar Harmony, spoke up. The collaborative project we proposed, the Galactic Early Warning System, that's just the beginning. There's so much we can learn from each other, so many advancements we can make together. Ambassador Jorlak of the Aetheri, who had chosen to remain on Earth as a permanent liaison, added his telepathic voice to the discussion. Indeed, Dr. Vance, already the combined insights of our scientists have yielded promising results, but we must also address the challenges that lie ahead. General Donovan, attending via secure holographic link from the Rocky Mountain Command Center, nodded gravely. The attack on the Stellar Harmony was a wake-up call. We've made enemies out there, and they won't all be as disorganized as this last bunch. We need to be prepared. Chen leaned forward, her eyes scanning the faces around the table. We've proven ourselves in battle and in diplomacy, but we're still newcomers on the galactic stage. There will be those who seek to exploit our inexperience, to manipulate us for their own gain. Okafor's expression was determined, which is why we must proceed with both optimism and caution. We'll embrace this new era of cooperation, but we'll also continue to develop our own technologies, our own defenses. Earth's independence must be maintained. As the meeting continued, plans were laid out for the integration of human representatives into various Concordiate institutions. Agreements were drafted for technological exchanges, cultural programs, and joint scientific ventures. But through it all, there was an underlying current of determination to carve out a unique place for humanity among the stars. Weeks turned into months, and the face of Earth began to change. Concordiate ships became a common sight in the skies, and alien visitors walked the streets of major cities. In return, human diplomats and scientists ventured out to distant worlds, marveling at the diversity of life and culture the galaxy had to offer. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. The defeated hegemony, while no longer a major threat, continued to cause trouble on the fringes of known space. Rumors spread of other, more distant powers watching Earth's rise with growing concern. And within the Concordiate itself, political maneuvering continued as various factions sought to gain influence over the newly emerged human civilization. 6 months after the battle at the edge of the solar system, Admiral Chen found herself once again aboard the Defiant, this time leading the joint human Concordiate expedition to a distant sector of the galaxy. As she stood on the bridge, watching her mixed crew of humans and aliens working seamlessly together, she felt a sense of pride tinged with apprehension. "Admiral," Commander Rodriguez approached, datapad in hand. "We've received a priority transmission from Earth. Well, you should see this for yourself." Chen took the pad, her eyes widening as she read the report. She quickly opened a channel to the expedition's Concordiate liaison, Ambassador Jorlak. "Ambassador, we have a situation. Our long-range sensors have detected an anomaly in the Omega Centauri globular cluster. It appears to be, well, we're not entirely sure what it is. Jorlak's telepathic voice resonated with concern. "Show me, Admiral." Chen transmitted the data, and for a moment there was silence. When Jorlak spoke again, there was a tremor of fear in his mental voice. This is unprecedented. These energy readings, they're unlike anything in Concordia records. What do you think it means? Chen asked, already suspecting the answer. It means, Admiral, that the galaxy is larger and more mysterious than even we knew. This could be a natural phenomenon, or it could be evidence of a civilization far more advanced than any we've encountered. Chen's mind raced with the implications. Earth had barely begun to find its footing in the known galactic community, and already they were facing the unknown. But isn't that what humanity did best? Face the unknown, explore the unexplored. Ambassador, Chen said, determination filling her voice. I think it's time we assembled a task force. Whatever this anomaly is, we need to investigate. Earth and the Concordiat, working together. As plans were quickly drawn up and communicated back to Earth and Concordiat High Command, Chen couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was why humanity had looked to the stars for so long, not just for resources or expansion, but for discovery, for the thrill of facing the unknown. On Earth, the news of the anomaly spread quickly. In universities and research centers, scientists pored over the data, proposing theories and designing experiments. In government halls, leaders debated the potential risks and rewards of this new discovery. And in homes around the world, people looked up at the night sky with renewed wonder, knowing that the greatest adventures were yet to come. Dr. Ilara Vance, now heading Earth's new interstellar research division, worked tirelessly with her team to prepare for the expedition. This could change everything we think we know about the universe, she explained to a gathering of top scientists. The technology required to create an anomaly of this scale, it's beyond anything we or the Concordiat have achieved. As the Joint Task Force prepared to embark on its mission, Earth continued to evolve. The first human colonies on distant worlds were taking root, pioneers venturing forth to build new lives among the stars. Trade routes were established, cultural exchanges flourished, and slowly but surely, humanity was making its mark on the galactic stage. But with progress came new challenges. The influx of alien technology and ideas sparked heated debates about the preservation of human culture and values. Security concerns remained at the forefront, with Earth's military constantly adapting to face potential threats from both known and unknown quarters. In orbit around Earth, a new structure began to take shape, a massive space station that would serve as a neutral ground for galactic diplomacy and commerce. It was a joint project, combining human ingenuity with Concordiat engineering, a symbol of the new era of cooperation. As the day of the expedition's departure drew near, Admiral Chen found herself standing before the United Nations General Assembly, now expanded to include holographic representatives from Concordiat worlds. Distinguished delegates, Chen began, her voice carrying across the historic chamber. We stand at a crossroads. Before us lies a galaxy full of wonders and dangers, opportunities and challenges. The anomaly we've discovered in Omega Centauri is just the beginning. It's a reminder that no matter how far we've come, the universe will always have new surprises in store for us. She paused, looking out at the sea of faces, human and alien alike, all united in their attention to her words. But that is precisely why humanity has always looked to the stars. We are explorers, innovators, dreamers. We've faced extinction and survived. We've overcome our divisions to reach out into the cosmos. And now, as we venture further into the unknown, we do so not alone, but as part of a greater galactic community. The chamber erupted in applause, a chorus of voices and appendages showing approval. As Chen stepped down from the podium, she felt the weight of history on her shoulders. The decisions made in the coming days and weeks would shape the future not just of humanity, but potentially of all known civilization. Later that evening, as final preparations for the expedition were underway, Chen stood in the observatory of the newly constructed space station. Earth gleamed below, a blue jewel suspended in the void. Around it, ships of various designs moved in coordinated patterns, human vessels alongside those of their new allies. Ambassador Jorlak joined her, his luminescent form casting a soft glow. "Your people have come so far in such a short time, Admiral. It is truly remarkable." Chen nodded, her eyes fixed on the planet below. "We've had to. The galaxy's a big place, filled with wonders and terrors. But you know what? I think we're ready for it. Whatever's out there in Omega Centauri, whatever other challenges we might face, humanity will meet them head-on." As they stood there, watching the Earth slowly rotate below, both human and alien felt a sense of anticipation. The first chapter of humanity's cosmic story had been written, full of danger and triumph. But it was clear that the greatest adventures still lay ahead. The Defiant, now upgraded with a mix of human and Concordia technology, waited in its docking bay. Soon, it would lead the task force into the unknown, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of not just Earth, but of all those who looked to the stars and wondered what secrets they held. As Chen prepared to board her ship for the mission that could change the course of galactic history, she took one last look at Earth. Whatever they found out there, whatever challenges they faced, she knew one thing for certain. Humanity had found its place among the stars, and they were here to stay. The cosmic chess game continued, with new players and higher stakes. But humanity, with its indomitable spirit and newfound allies, was ready to play. The next move awaited, and the stars themselves seemed to beckon, full of promise and possibility. As the task force prepared to depart, Chen couldn't help but smile. This was what it meant to be human, to face the unknown, to push the boundaries, to reach for the stars. And now, they were doing it on a scale their ancestors could only have dreamed of. The adventure was just beginning.